What's up? Okay, I have something. It's kind of just forming. I actually did record another video that was the start of this. It just didn't feel... I wanted to go deeper with it, and that's what I feel like this is. There has been a lot of the feeling of unsafety, and that's nothing new. And we've talked about that here, how really at a very fundamental level, the experiencing of vulnerability, of insecurity, is a core experience of being conscious space, because you are space and everything is flowing through you, and so you are receiving all of the time. There's actually this constant motion through you. But fear, there have been these waves of fear, right? Along with pain. We're facing reality. There is no longer anywhere else to turn away from it. We could never run. There's only reality. There's nowhere to go. So we've been turning every which way, trying to avoid looking at what's here. Not because what's here is bad. In fact, it's quite the opposite. But because we're afraid of it. And to a great extent, we're afraid of it because of a belief that it's bad, a belief that we're bad, a belief that there is only suffering here, that there is no joy. Dismantling the illusion of happiness, of course, you follow that, the mind follows that naturally into, well then, if there's no happiness, then there's nothing here that's worthwhile. There's no good feeling. If there's not happiness, there's no good feeling. But that's like saying if there's not artificial sweetener, there's no sugar, there's no flavor. Because all we know at this point is the artificial version, is the illusory, mentally created abstraction of the real thing. The 0 calorie, low carb version of what's really here. And that's what happiness is. It's the synthesized, abstracted, removed from the actual thing version of the thing. So it cannot be what it is pretending to be. That's the point. Artificial sugar cannot be sugar. We don't even call it artificial sugar. It's sweetener. It's sweetener because all it is the experience of sweetness. It's just the sensation of sweetness, but there's nothing actually there. It's a trick. It's a trick. There is nothing substantive there. There is nothing actually happening. There is no sugar. It's just the illusion. It just creates this sense of sweetness, which is why it really fucks with your brain. And why you can become addicted to it, because there is no satisfaction in it. It's a vapor. It's a ghost. There's nothing there. So we keep chasing it, this hit. That's all you get. You get a hit. You get this brief little, oh man, that's good. And it's gone. So you keep chasing this high, what you think is a high. It's not even satisfying. It's not even satisfying. It cannot be, because it is the artificial version of satisfaction. It is the appearance of satisfaction. Happiness, like superiority, is an appearance. It's not an experience. Not really. Superiority cannot be experienced. It can only be imagined. And so we create, it's not real, so the body and the mind kind of work together and concoct something that I guess this is what you're looking for. I guess this isn't a real thing, but you seem to think it is, so I guess we're going to create this illusion of this thing. Is this what this looks like? And it's shallow, it's hollow, it's just this, it's a thin veneer that is empty inside. There's no substance, there's no reality there. And so it's not fulfilling, it's not nourishing, it's not sustaining, but we keep chasing it because it's like just this candy shell with air inside. We keep thinking there's going to be something. We're tricking ourselves into believing that there's going to be something inside. One of these I'm going to bite into and it's going to be satisfying. There cannot be satisfaction within the thing that was created as an abstraction of satisfaction, as the artificial version. There is no sugar in fake sugar. There is no satisfaction in the fake satisfaction, the appearance of it. Appearance? I don't know what words, I'm inventing new words. The appearance of satisfaction that we call happiness. That's why it's addictive. That's why we get stuck in this pattern of seeking it over and over and over. We're afraid of giving it up because we think that's all there is. But at the same time, we're very depressed to think that that's all there is because it's not actually satisfying. So, we'd rather have this tiny little crumb than nothing, I guess. But really, that's very sad. But no, it can't be that way. That's too sad. So I'm going to keep seeking it. And this cycle continues. But here's the thing, the fake version of something can only exist because the real version does exist. It has to be based on something. In order for there to be a counterfeit, there has to be the genuine article. And there is. There is. I wouldn't call it happiness. Like I wouldn't call sugar aspartame. They're not the same. They're not the same thing. Happiness is not satisfaction. Satisfaction is the real McCoy. Satisfaction exists, but you don't get it. You don't acquire it. It's just here. It's here in reality, which means you have to be in reality to feel it. And when you choose to be here, you feel satisfaction. But in order to be here, you have to give up trying to get over there. Which means you have to give up trying to get happiness. You have to give up the pursuit of happiness. And the mind-made self really don't want to do that because they really don't believe that there's anything else. But this is not a thing you have to believe. It's an experience. This is not a belief. I'm not speaking from the place of belief. When you give up trying to be happy because you realize that happy is not a thing that you can be, and you look more closely and say, well, what can I be? And you realize here is the answer. I can only be what I am. I can only be what I am. What am I really? What can I say about myself? Actually, I am here. I am here, now. let me just be that and give up this ridiculous delusion that I could be anything other than that. And it sounds to the mind, it sounds very sad at first, but the second you embrace that, the second you embrace being as you are, being what you are, being who you are, which means being here now, that's you, and you embrace it fully, and you give up trying to be anything else, which you can't be. You give up trying to be what you cannot be, which means happy. You'll realize a variety of things. You can't be sad either. Actually, sad is not something you can be. Prepared isn't something you can be. You can't be strong or weak. You can't be healthy or sick. You can have experiences that we give these labels, but you can't be anything other than here, other than what you are. All of that shifts, all of that is just weather moving through. You can't be that any more than you can be rainy or snowy. As like a feature, you can experience raining and you can experience snowing, but you can't be that. And when you start being here, what you are, you start being real. This is what I really am, here. And now that I am really here, really me, really myself, some other magical things happen. I start feeling satisfaction with my reality, with the reality of me. Fully being here, giving up trying to be anything else, anything other than that I am. I start to feel satisfaction. I start to feel ease. I start to feel connection. It's like the air has more flavor to it. Suddenly there are all of these smells and sights and sounds that have been turned up. It's like the definition has been increased, clarified. And I feel a sense of assurance in my being here that I cannot describe or explain. It isn't based on anything. It is just a feeling. It is a feeling that arises. It is a feeling that I notice is happening, is here with me as I am here. The feeling of being myself, the feeling of being here, there is a quality to it. There are a number of qualities to it. One of those qualities is this sense of security, this sense of assurance, this sense of peace and goodness. That is really challenging to even put into words because of the way that all of these words have ever been used. There is a sense of certainty in my here-ness, as though I can feel the constancy of it. I can feel the breadth and the depth of it. I can feel the stability of it. I can feel beyond this form, beyond this life experience. I can feel the stability and the continuity of my being here. I can sense that a moment has never passed. A moment has never been missed. A moment has never ended. Rather, it's shifted, it's changed, it's evolved. but there is a continuity to it. It is continuous. It has always been the same moment. And I have always been there with that moment. There's no dividing my being here from the moment, from now, right? There is no separating here and now, and I am here. There is no separating me from here. So there is no separating me from now. Can you feel this? The mind can't comprehend this, and it's gonna twist it and whatever. I am here now, and when I give up trying to be other than I am, and I'm just here, I'm just what I am, I can feel the fullness of myself, and there is such an unspeakable peace in that I am always here now. Always. The context of here now changes, but it's always together. I am always here now. Whatever it looks like, I'm here. Satisfaction arises there. Peace arises. It's just felt. It's just the feeling. I just have the feeling of my own eternity. And it's never just mine either. My eternity can't be separated from the eternity of all. From the eternal here-ness and now-ness of all being. These infinite perspectives, infinite nodes, spaces, conscious being spaces that are all here now. Just a little bit of a different, eyes, just spaced a little bit apart, so the angle is slightly different and becomes dramatically different. The broader that the being space becomes, and it does become broader, the more that we see, the more eyes there are feeling into spaces that we have never felt before, seeing somewhere that we've never seen, calling that landscape forth. Suddenly everything expands. Experiencing and experience expand simultaneously. Being and form expand simultaneously. The pure being, because the form is also being. It's interwoven. One is not like alive and the other one isn't. It's all alive. It's all living, breathing, conscious being space that is being filled by being form, being experienced by being space, whatever. This isn't even what I really planned to talk about. I have to sneeze. Oh, come on. Come on. Excuse me. Thank you. Clearly it's what I wanted to talk about. I'm just gonna, no segue, just straight into the other piece that I wanted to say. The experience of unsafety, that is, everybody's feeling it. This is only going to increase. The feeling of unsafety, okay. And there has been a lot of rage. There's been a lot of rage in me. Rage that quickly shifts into shame and blame, loathing, whether it is directed at the self or externally. And I am realizing that the feelings of rage, which then shift into blame and shame, of course, they are not caused by the experiencing of the feelings of unsafety. They are caused by the belief that unsafety means I am unsafe. Right? So it's not the experience. There's a difference between the experience of unsafety as an experience, as a feeling, as a sensation, and a belief that unsafety is a reality. That I am unsafe. So there's the feeling of being attacked or controlled or manipulated or whatever. The feeling of being vulnerable underneath all of that. And then there is the reality, the belief in the reality that I am attacked and I am wounded and I am controlled and I am limited and I am insecure in a way that I'm unsafe. I'm unsafe. My security is at risk. I am at risk. The belief in unsafety as a reality, not just an experience. The allowance of the experience of unsafety, it is happening. The experience of unsafety is a reality. What is not a reality is the story of unsafety. And when I slip into believing in unsafety as a reality, that's when the other feelings arise. That's when the rage arises. That's when all of this anger, this like repulsion and revulsion arises. And it's natural. I'm realizing it's a deep no. There is a deep, genuine no happening. And it's not a resistance to reality. It's a resistance to falsehood. It's a resistance to a made-up story. It's a resistance to a lie. No, I cannot accept this because this is not true. I cannot accept what is not real. That's why it sticks. That's why I can't. It feels like I'm stuck in this loop of resistance. It's not resistance to reality, to what actually is. It's resistance to a story. It's resistance to the influence of a story that I know is not true. I cannot accept a story that is not true. It's not possible. So all of the rage comes from me having departed from truth, my own awareness of truth. It's quite beautiful, actually. The no, the rejection, the resistance is not a resistance of reality. It is the rejection of a belief that does not fit. A belief that I cannot accept because I know it's not true, because it isn't reality. It's just a belief. It is not my experience. I cannot permit the influence of a belief in the reality of unsafety. I can't do that. That is spat out. It's being spat out. It's being rejected as false. This isn't true. We can't accept it because it isn't true. And I feel strongly this is a critical part of our guidance that we have been denying, and we've created a tremendous amount of suffering for ourselves. I know I have, because of the lack of awareness of this, that when there is this feeling, it's almost tantrum-like. It's, that's the thing too, is like we criticize young people for rejecting falsehoods because we gave up. There's a really cute squirrel right outside the window that just showed up. Sorry if that's a little distracting. He's so fuzzy. Oh my goodness. But we gave up. We allowed our own guidance to be overridden. We allowed the influence instead of standing, because we didn't have the awareness. Instead of standing in the knowledge and the certainty of, when I feel this kind of rage, it's not my refusal to accept reality. It is my inability to accept what is not reality, what is patently untrue. I cannot accept this because this is not true. And trying to believe it, trying to accept this, to take this belief on and integrate it into my system, produces rage. That is the litmus test saying, this is false. The rage happens because when I try on this belief, whatever it is, this belief in unsafety as a reality, this belief in death as some sort of permanent ending, this belief in disconnection from my loved ones and the world and the people that I care about. When I try these beliefs on, they create the reaction of rage and rejection. That is the sign that they're not true. I cannot accept that as a belief because it is not real. It's not true. So I cannot make that a part of my navigation of reality. I have been fed false information. It's being responded to with rage. It's inciting rage internally because it doesn't fit. Because my system knows this is not a match. This is not real. And when I put down the belief in unsafety as a reality, and I allow unsafety to be the experience, all of those feelings just disappear instantaneously. If I just put down the belief of unsafety as reality, and I let it be experience, I'm back in peace. There's nothing, I haven't done anything. I'm not trying to do anything. I just go, oh, that's what it is. I'm believing a story, a made-up story, and I can't accept a made-up story. So that is just made up. Just set that part down. The feeling then of unsafety turns into excitement. It turns directly into excitement. It becomes the stomach drop on the roller coaster as you go over the edge of the hill, instead of the feeling of catapulting out of the sky without a parachute. There's a feeling of security to the unsafety. It's like it's I don't want to use the word controlled. I don't really like that word, but it's there is an order to the chaos. Nothing is actually going wrong here. This is curated, right? This is by design. This is not some mistake. Oh my God, we've gone off the rails and we don't know what's happening here. It's like, no, this is a part of the experience. The feeling of unsafety is enjoyable. It's exciting. It's a part of what causes us to ask. It's a part of the joy of leaping, knowing that you're going to be caught. Then you really enjoy leaping. That's where you get to feel like you're flying. To be tossed up in the air and have that sense of weightlessness and falling, and again, the stomach drop and this whoa and the giddiness that arises because you know this is experience. But the reality is that you are safe. The underlying reality of your security, your continuity, your well-being, and the well-being of all is never questioned. The only way you can have the experiences of unsafety is for that core underlying layer to be stable. We could not experience instability without underlying stability. It's not possible. There would be one experience of instability, and that would be it. It would be spun out, right? Same as the whole, death is an experience of life. And it's impermanent. Everything keeps going. You keep going. Everything keeps going. If it were the other way around, if life were just some accidental oopsie of death because death were somehow the greater reality, that would be it. All this would not be here. I would not be speaking to you right now. The accidental oopsie experience of life would have been a blip. And the long flat line of death. That's not how this works. Life is the encompassing. Security is the encompassing. Because that is the underlying fundamental, because that is reality, we are able to experience everything else. We're able to experience the sensation of unsafety, of insecurity, only because the container of that experience is profoundly and completely secure. And that's you. That's you. You are the container. You are the space in which experience unfolds. You experiencing are utterly secure. And you can feel that. You can only know it by feeling. You feel it when you stop trying to be anything. Stop trying to be anything other than you are. Stop trying to be happy. Stop trying to be successful. Stop trying to be prepared. You can't be and you don't need to be any of those things. Just be here. Just be you. Be what you are here now. And you realize everything is here with you. Satisfaction, peace, everything you were looking for, trying to be, is already here. Now you're in the full fat version. You're here in reality where nothing needs to be added because nothing has been removed. Nothing has been reduced here. All of the flavor, the body, the texture, all of that which you want is here. The cream, the nectar, the ichor, the juice, whatever you want to call it, it is here. And you are here. And here's another magical thing. You can't be more here than anybody else. Everybody is just here. That's it. We're here. There's not more here or less here. We're all here. You can be more or less aware of yourself, of your here-ness, but all that does is that's just how much you're allowing of your own experiencing, your own satisfaction. It doesn't affect anything. It doesn't mean anything. It's just, this is your vent. How open is your vent? How much of it are you letting in? That's entirely your experience. How much of your own self are you letting in? How deeply are you nestling into your here-ness, into reality? The deeper you go, the more satisfaction you feel, yes. But that, again, doesn't mean anything. And it's all equally accessible to all of us all of the time. We are all here. We can all choose to just be here at any given point, more or less. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't mean anything. So there's no more competition. There's nothing to be better than. We are all here, exactly the same. Everyone, everything is here. And everything that we desire is in our here-ness. So we can give up this ridiculous happiness competition. It's an illusion. Anyone who says that they have it, they don't, because it doesn't exist. That's why it has to be performed. That's why it's performative. That's why we are all taking pictures and videos and trying to prove to one another how happy we are, because it can only be an appearance of. It is a performed emotion. It's not a real thing. But none of that matters either. Nobody is better or worse for doing that. It doesn't change a damn thing. We're free to play with that delusion for as long as we want to, and to give it up whenever we want to, and to get sucked back into it whenever we feel like it. It's fine. It does not matter. All of us are here, and the satisfaction is here. And we all get to choose to go deeper into that when we choose to do that. You could even say that the more that we stay out of it, the stronger our drive to choose it is. You know, it's like we're really starving ourselves for satisfaction because we know how good it's going to feel to let it back in. It's like a really long fast or something. I don't know. Again, it doesn't prove anything. It's like, if that increases the pleasure of the satisfaction for you, sure, go for it. I think that's a part of it. And then we learn that, you know, actually I can be in the satisfaction and just go deeper into it. I don't have to depart from my satisfaction in order to enjoy it. I don't like get bored of it, or, you know, again, all these kind of stories that really, they're just stories. You don't get bored of satisfaction. You don't get tired of security. You can experience the excitement of insecurity while secure. You can experience deepening satisfaction while in satisfaction. You don't have to like leave the thing, totally project yourself somewhere else in order to experience an increased version of that. I think that's something we're learning as consciousness. You can just go deeper. Anyway, I'm late. What's new? That's all I got for now. I love you. Take it easy.